What if I told you? Most men miss the signal, not because they weren't good enough, but because they weren't still enough to notice it. She won't say, "I want you." She won't text you that she's thinking about you at night. She won't come out and admit what her body already knows. No, women speak in layers. She'll shift her energy. She'll lower her tone. She'll come a little closer, but only if you're grounded enough to notice. And most men, they talk too fast. They move too quick. They see attention and think it's permission. But not the Stoic man. The Stoic man doesn't chase signals. He reads them. He doesn't move at the first sign of interest. He waits for clarity. He doesn't force anything because he knows his energy alone does the talking. See, seduction isn't loud. It's not always physical. It's not even intentional. True desire reveals itself in quiet moments, in glances that last too long, in hands that linger, in laughter that only feels safe with you. And when you're calm, aware, and emotionally still, you begin to feel it. You begin to see it. And most importantly, you begin to move when the moment is right. This video isn't about tricks. It's not about chasing women. It's about understanding the silent language of attraction and becoming the kind of man who doesn't flinch, doesn't rush, and doesn't need permission to be confident. Let's break down 6 powerful signs a woman wants you, not just emotionally but physically, and how to respond with the power of Stoic presence. Sign 1. Her eye contact changes. You can learn more about a woman's desire from her eyes than from her words. She may not say a single thing, but she's already said everything without opening her mouth. It starts with a glance, then a second one, then a pause that lasts 1 heartbeat too long. This isn't random. It's not just friendly. It's a signal, a quiet, beautiful tension in the space between her stare and your stillness. Most men miss this moment. They either get excited and stare back too intensely, or they look away nervously, afraid of what it might mean. But the Stoic man, he doesn't flinch. He doesn't chase her eyes. He holds eye contact with calm power without overreacting, and lets her curiosity deepen. Because eye contact isn't just about seeing someone. It's about feeling seen, deeply, silently, safely. And if she looks at you that way, if her gaze softens, if her eyes linger, if she looks away, then looks again, she's saying something without saying it. She's saying, "I notice you. I feel something around you. Do you see me the way I see you?" Here's what to look for. Soft eyes. The muscles around her eyes relax. This is a sign of comfort and emotional openness. Lingering gaze. She holds eye contact for 2 to 3 seconds longer than normal. That's intentional. Dilated pupils. It's subtle, but in intimate lighting, her pupils may expand, a biological response to attraction. The glance return. She looks, breaks eye contact, and then looks again. That's a subconscious test. And how do you respond? You don't react like a boy, desperate for attention. You respond like a man, grounded, calm, present. You match her gaze with slow confidence. You don't smirk, you don't fidget, you don't speak too fast. Your silence becomes a message. Your eyes become the conversation. Your energy becomes the invitation. She wants to feel seen, but not chased. She wants to feel safe, but still excited. The Stoic man balances both. He doesn't get hypnotized by her eyes. He meets them with quiet strength. And in that moment, she feels something rare. She feels a man who's not looking to take something from her, but one who can hold the space for her to feel, to express, and to desire freely. Most men ruin the moment with overthinking. The Stoic man lets the moment breathe, because sometimes A single look holds more electricity than 1,000 words ever could. Sign 2. She finds reasons to be close. Desire doesn't always speak in words. Sometimes it speaks in distance, or the lack of it. You're in a room with plenty of space, and yet, somehow, she ends up right beside you. You're standing in a group, and suddenly, she's just close enough that you feel her presence, but not so close that anyone else notices. This is intentional proximity. A woman who wants you will rarely say it directly, but she'll slowly, quietly start removing the space between you and watching how you react. She's thinking, do I feel safe around him? Can I get closer without him getting weird? Is he grounded or just desperate for any attention? And most men fail this test. They lean in too fast. They try to touch too soon. They confuse her presence with permission. But the Stoic man does something different. He notices the closeness, but he doesn't rush. He doesn't jump. He simply allows the moment to unfold. Because he knows closeness is not consent. It's a test of your patience, your control, and your ability to lead with stillness. Psychology behind her proximity. Humans are wired to protect their personal space. So when a woman chooses to enter your space and stay there, it means something. Researchers in proxemics, the study of space and distance, define personal space as within 18 inches. If she's inside that zone often, leaning in during conversation, brushing past you, choosing to sit near you, it's not random. It's invitation without words. What to watch for? Consistent closeness. She keeps ending up near you, even when she has other options. Body orientation. Her chest, feet, or knees point toward you, even if she's not speaking directly. Micro touches. Her shoulder lightly brushes yours. She leans in when talking. Her knee bumps yours and doesn't pull away. Timing. She moves closer after laughing or after sharing something personal. That's her testing intimacy and trust. Most men try to do something. They think they need to act, make a move, say something witty, escalate fast. But the Stoic man doesn't force the moment. He doesn't need to. He knows his presence is strong enough on its own. He knows attraction isn't built in noise, it's built in energy. So he lets her come close. He lets the closeness linger, and he holds his frame, calm, unshaken, present. Because here's the secret. A woman is not just testing if she wants you. She's testing if you can hold the space without needing to take something. She wants to feel your power, not just physically, but emotionally. She wants to feel that being close to you doesn't cost her safety or freedom. And when you pass that test, her closeness becomes more than comfort. It becomes chemistry. A woman who wants to be close to you is saying something. Without saying it, she's saying, I want you to notice me. Without losing yourself. I want to move toward you, but only if you can handle the tension without breaking it. And that's what separates the reactive man from the Stoic one. The reactive man jumps into desire and ruins the moment. The Stoic man feels it, respects it, and lets it grow. Because real attraction isn't rushed. It breathes. And sometimes the quiet space between your shoulder and hers is louder than any pickup line could ever be. Sign 3, she touches you gently. Before she ever says it, before she ever admits it, her body will speak through the lightest touch. And if you're paying attention, not with your ego, but with your awareness, you'll feel it instantly. It might be a graze, a brush on your hand, a tap on your shoulder as she laughs, or the way her fingers rest on your arm just a little longer than needed. It's soft, it's subtle, it's intentional. Because when a woman desires you, she doesn't always go for bold. She goes for safe and sensual, just enough to see how you'll respond. Why does she touch you lightly? She's not being careless, she's being strategic. A gentle touch is one of the safest ways she can test your awareness, your reaction, and your emotional stability, all at once. If you flinch or act awkward, she senses discomfort or inexperience. If you react too fast or too eagerly, she feels you're too desperate, too easy. But if you feel it, notice it, and stay calm, you pass. Touch isn't just about skin, it's about energy. And women are masters at reading the emotional energy in physical moments. Types of touch to watch for: incidental touches. She accidentally brushes past you, once, twice, 3 times. It could be her hand brushing yours when you walk side by side, or her leg gently bumping yours under the table, and she doesn't move it. Anchoring touch. She places her hand on your arm or shoulder while speaking. This isn't random, it's a grounding gesture. She's not just talking, she's connecting. Playful push or tap. She gently hits your chest when laughing or teases you with a push. This is flirtation through mock resistance. She's challenging you while inviting connection. Lingering contact. She touches you, but doesn't pull away quickly. That extra second, that's the moment of truth. That's where desire lives, in the delay. Psychological insight, the touch-reward link. When someone we're attracted to touches us, our brain releases dopamine, the pleasure chemical. Even small, non-sexual touches can trigger warmth, bonding, and connection. So if she's touching you gently, she's not just flirting, she's creating an emotional charge and waiting to see if you can hold it. The Stoic response. What does the average man do? He gets excited. He tries to touch her back quickly. He escalates too fast. He assumes too much, too soon. But the Stoic man? He feels the touch. He acknowledges the moment, not with words, but with energy. And he holds the tension, like it's nothing. Because the Stoic man doesn't need to react. He lets the moment speak louder than his mouth ever could. He knows that true confidence is not in chasing. It's in receiving the signal without losing center. Bonus, the power of delayed reciprocity. There's something powerful about not touching back immediately. When she touches you, and you don't rush to return it, you create a gap, a beautiful electric space of tension. That space says, I noticed. I'm not desperate. I move when I choose, not when I'm told. And that energy, it's rare, it's grounded, it's magnetic. It tells her you are not controlled by impulse, but guided by presence. A woman's gentle touch is not always about lust. Sometimes it's about trust. Sometimes it's about comfort. And sometimes it's about curiosity. But the one thing it always is? A moment of choice. The choice to act like every other man, or to stay grounded like the few who don't chase. Don't rush. Don't fold under pressure. The Stoic man does not grab, he notices. He does not rush, he lets it build. He does not assume, he lets her show. Because he knows, sometimes, the softest touches carry the loudest intentions, and the man who can hold his stillness in those moments becomes unforgettable. Sign 4. Her voice gets softer around you. When a woman feels desire, she often won't raise her voice. She'll lower it. She won't get louder. She'll get closer. And instead of shouting her attraction, she'll start whispering it without using any words. This is one of the most overlooked signs of female desire, and one of the most powerful if you're emotionally present enough to notice. Because here's the truth. A woman's voice doesn't just carry her words, it carries her energy, her comfort, her intentions. And when you see her tone shift around you, softer, warmer, slower, that's not just talking, that's inviting. What changes in her voice? Lower volume. She speaks softly, sometimes just loud enough for you to hear. She's pulling you in, creating closeness through sound. Slower pace. She stops rushing her sentences. There's more pause, more breath. It's like the conversation itself starts breathing. Warm, gentle tone. Her words have an emotional glow. It's not the tone she uses with friends or co-workers. It's softer, more delicate, almost intimate. Private shifts. Her voice around you becomes different than when she talks in a group. That contrast, that's the signal. Psychology behind the vocal shift. Studies in evolutionary psychology show that both men and women modulate their voice around people they're attracted to. For women, lowering the voice signals trust and comfort, creates a safe emotional bubble around the two of you, triggers dopamine in the male brain, that feeling of warmth and desire. She may not even realize she's doing it. That's the beauty of it. It's subconscious, instinctual, and it means she feels safe with you. She wants to draw you in emotionally, not just impress you physically. The Stoic response. The average man? He gets excited. He raises his own voice. He starts talking fast. He tries to fill the silence because he's afraid of it. But the Stoic man? He does the opposite. He matches her softness with calm. He slows his words. He breathes with her rhythm. He lets the silence between sentences expand without anxiety. That silence isn't awkward. It's magnetic. It creates a space where she feels safe to open up, seen without pressure, drawn toward you, not chased by you. Advanced Stoic technique, mirror without mimicking. You don't need to fake a deep voice. You don't need to whisper back. But if she slows down, you slow down. If she pauses, you let the pause breathe. You don't chase her words. You let them land. And when you speak, speak with weight, with clarity, with presence. Because here's what she's truly testing. Can he hold a soft moment without ruining it? Can he handle intimacy without jumping to the physical? Can he speak like a man who doesn't need to prove anything? The Stoic man can, and that's why she'll want more conversations with him. Not because of what he says, but because of how he makes her feel in silence. Her words might be casual, but her tone is intimate. Don't just listen with your ears, listen with your presence. If her voice softens, if the air around your conversation changes, that's not random. That's emotional closeness, physical interest, and psychological intimacy. The kind most men miss. But the Stoic man, he hears it all and doesn't rush to fill the space. Because he knows, when she lowers her voice, it's not about volume. It's about vulnerability. And if you can hold that moment without needing to take it somewhere, she'll want to stay in that energy even longer. Sign 5, she teases you, but never leaves. Attraction doesn't always show up as sweetness. Sometimes it shows up as playful fire. She rolls her eyes at you. She mocks your music taste. She challenges your opinion. She makes fun of how serious you are. And yet, she stays. She keeps talking. She keeps smiling. She keeps coming back. This isn't rejection. This is invitation in disguise. This is the language of attraction through resistance. What is playful defiance? It's a test, not to hurt you, but to measure you. She wants to see, can he handle pressure? Can he stay cool when challenged? Does he get defensive, or does he hold his ground with grace? Because here's the hard truth. A woman is not just attracted to your looks. She's attracted to your emotional strength. Playful teasing is her way of pushing your frame, not to knock you over, but to see if you're the kind of man who can't be moved easily. What this looks like. Mocking your confidence. Oh, wow, you're really sure of yourself, huh? Translation. Let's see if that confidence is real or just noise. Challenging your opinions. You really believe that? You're weird. Translation. Do you stand by your beliefs, or do you fold when questioned? Teasing your stoicism, so you're the strong, silent type? Smirk. Translation. Are you truly calm, or just emotionally shut down? Creating competition. I bet my guy friends are smoother than you. Translation. Let's see if you can stay cool, or if you'll crumble under comparison. The psychology behind it. This is called relational play in psychology. It's flirting through challenge. It creates safe tension, the kind that builds emotional attraction and chemistry. Why does it work? Because teasing lowers pressure by making things playful, creates a space to test wit, confidence, and boundaries, builds mutual emotional investment. She wants to see your depth, not just your charm. The Stoic response. Here's where 95% of men ruin it. They get defensive. What's that supposed to mean? Or they try too hard to impress her back, turning the teasing into awkward validation. But the Stoic man? He does neither. He stays calm. He stays centered. He smiles. And when he speaks, it's with quiet wit, not loud emotion. He doesn't fight the energy. He redirects it. Example Stoic responses. Her. Oh, so now you're a philosopher too? You, with a half smile. Only when I'm around curious women. Her. You're probably terrible at texting back. You. That's how I filter the impatient ones. Her. You think you're hard to impress, don't you? You. No. Just not easy to distract. You're not attacking. You're not chasing. You're dancing with her energy and leading the rhythm. That's what makes the teasing turn into tension, and the tension turn into desire. Why this works so well? Because in that moment, she sees a man who doesn't break under heat. And that's rare, that's attractive, that's irresistible. When a woman teases you and stays near, she's not mocking you. She's inviting you to play on her level. But only if you can handle it. Only if you don't turn soft, or bitter, or needy. Teasing is not rejection. Teasing is attraction, in the form of challenge. And the Stoic man, he welcomes challenge. He never flinches. He lets his emotional stability speak louder than his ego. Because deep down, she's not just looking for someone who can make her laugh. She's looking for someone who can stay calm in her storm. And that man is unforgettable. Sign 6. She starts to mirror you. Sometimes, the most powerful sign that a woman desires you isn't what she says. It's what she starts to do without realizing it. She begins to lean back when you do. She crosses her legs the same way. Her tone, her rhythm, even her choice of words start to look, sound, and feel like yours. This is called mirroring, and it's one of the strongest, most instinctual signs of deep attraction. Because people don't mirror those they don't respect. They mirror those they feel connected to, physically, emotionally, energetically. What is mirroring? In psychology, this is tied to the concept of mirror neurons, special brain cells that light up when we observe someone else's behavior and begin to match it. It's how humans bond. It's how we build trust. And when a woman starts unconsciously copying you, she's saying, I feel safe syncing with you. I feel aligned with your energy. I'm tuning into you without realizing it. This isn't strategy, it's instinct. Signs she's mirroring you. Body language, sync. You lean back. Moments later, she does too. You place your hand on the table. She mimics it soon after. Gesture matching. You touch your neck, stroke your beard, or nod a certain way. She begins doing similar things during the conversation. Vocal matching. You speak slower. She slows down. You use a calm, even tone. She mirrors that emotional rhythm. Emotional matching. You shift from serious to playful, and she mirrors your emotional temperature almost instantly. When you're grounded, she relaxes. When you show quiet confidence, she softens. Why it matters. Mirroring is not just mimicry, it's her body and mind aligning with yours. It's a form of unspoken submission to your presence, not in a weak way, but in a deeply feminine and receptive way. When a woman mirrors a man, she's not just attracted, she's trying to join his world. And that only happens when she senses that. You're emotionally safe. You're internally stable. You're worthy of alignment. The Stoic response. The average man. He notices the mirroring and tries to take control too fast. He turns the moment into a performance. He leans forward, acts excited, tries to reward her for matching him. But the Stoic man, he sees the alignment and does nothing flashy. He doesn't manipulate it. He doesn't over-celebrate it. He simply honors it with awareness. He knows mirroring is not permission to rush. It's an invitation to lead with even more calm, presence, and authenticity. Advanced Stoic technique, subtle reinforcement. You don't test her mirroring. You don't fake behaviors to trap her into copying you. Instead, you subtly reward it with emotional presence. If she mirrors your posture, you lean in just slightly, creating intimacy without pressure. If she echoes your word choice, you smile calmly, letting her feel the bond without needing to label it. This builds something far stronger than flirting. It builds rapport, chemistry, resonance. When a woman begins to reflect your behavior, your tone, your energy, she's not trying to impress you. She's surrendering to the connection, whether she realizes it or not. And if you're wise, you don't speak about it, you don't point it out, you don't ruin the magic by rushing into logic. You stay grounded, you stay centered, and you lead her gently through that emotional rhythm with your stillness, not your speech. Because that's what the Stoic man does best. He doesn't just attract women, he creates an emotional gravity that pulls them into alignment. And in a world full of men trying to stand out with noise, he becomes unforgettable with silence, awareness, and calm power. So now you've seen it. 6 quiet signs, 6 soft invitations, 6 ways a woman may tell you she wants you, without saying a single word. But this isn't just about spotting signs. It's about becoming the kind of man who doesn't need them to feel complete. Because here's the truth, the Stoic man doesn't chase, and he doesn't run either. He observes, he leads, he lets things unfold without losing himself. Most men, they chase validation. They move too fast. They confuse every signal as an invitation and every silence as rejection. They want answers now. They want guarantees. They want women to make it easy because they can't handle the tension of the unknown. But the Stoic man? He knows the real power is in his ability to pause before reacting, to feel attraction and not be controlled by it, to sense desire and still stay in his center. Because here's the secret, a woman may want you, but what pulls her in isn't your muscles, your money, or your lines. It's your ability to stay unmoved in her storm. She doesn't want a man who gets excited every time she smiles. She wants a man who notices the smile and still doesn't flinch. A man who feels the energy, but doesn't grab at it. Attraction is not about trying harder. It's about being still enough to let it come to you, without needing to force it. The Stoic man never chases, because he doesn't need to. He never escapes, because he isn't afraid of closeness. He's not the loudest in the room, but he's the one whose silence has weight, whose presence calms the noise around him, whose energy makes her feel safe enough to unfold. And in a world of men who constantly react, she will always notice the one who remains still. Stop looking for signs just to feed your ego. Start recognizing them as opportunities to practice presence. Don't rush into the moment. Don't shrink from it. Just stay steady. Let her signals come. Let the energy rise. And when it's time to move, move with intention, not desperation. Because the man who doesn't need to chase is the one everything starts chasing. If this video opened your eyes, if it helped you see the silent signs women give, if it reminded you of who you are or who you're becoming, then don't just scroll away. Take a moment, ground yourself, reflect. Because content like this isn't just information, it's transformation. Every view is a man seeking more than tricks. Every like is someone choosing presence over panic. Every comment is a conversation between men who are done with games and ready to move with clarity, stillness, and strength. Here's what to do next. Drop a comment. Have you noticed one of these signs before? Did you miss it? Or move with calm confidence? Your experience could teach or inspire another man here. Subscribe, because we're not just building an audience, we're building a brotherhood of Stoic leaders. Like this video, not for me, but to show the algorithm that men crave real substance. Share this with one man you respect, maybe your brother, your friend, someone who's been chasing the wrong energy. Send this to him as a reminder. He doesn't have to chase. He just has to be still enough to attract. This isn't pickup. This isn't fake confidence. This is internal mastery. In a world full of noise, be the man whose stillness is louder than anyone else's performance. Stay grounded, stay disciplined, stay stoic, and I'll see you in the next one.